Welcome, everybody. This is OTBN365 for Saturday, May 7th, 2022. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Having a great time and doing the show. And we appreciate all the feedback, the follows, the subs, and everything. It's been really cool. Again, um, you know, please follow us on all of our social media. You can find us at Off the Ball Network on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook. Please go to the YouTube page, click that subscribe button. Means a ton. And most importantly, we want your feedback, we want your comments, we want all suggestions. We love the interaction. That's why we do this. You guys are great, and you can find the podcast version of this on all your major podcast platforms and some of your non-major podcast platforms at Off the Ball Network podcast. So with that being said, let's get to it. Most importantly, it's Derby Day. It's a fun time. It's the 148th running of the Kentucky Derby this afternoon in Churchill Downs, and it's going to be a wet one. I don't live too far from that area, as you can probably tell by my terrible almost Southern accent here in southeastern Ohio. But it's going to be a really wet track. It's been raining nonstop. It feels like the entire month of May so far. But they're going to run it. We know that they're going to run it. It's going to be a wet track. It changes things. This is just a fun time of year. This is a fun event. You have the mint juleps. You have the food. Me and my wife typically, just try to do something to, whether we have a little, impromptu derby party, or we go out, or sometimes we go to a casino and bet on it, whatever. Just kind of celebrates a fun day, and have a mint julep. Enjoy it. So the post time is 6:57 for the big race tonight. I like the turf race right before it, the classic. A lot of times on these wet weekends we don't get it, so it kind of worries me, but I just love the turf races, always have. I don't know what it is, but I think it's the old Forester turf now. It used to be Woodford Reserve, but I'm hoping that they can get that in, but we'll see. They may or may not when it rains like this. So I got two picks, and there's nothing behind them. I'm not suggesting follow me. I'm not suggesting I can make you any kind of money. These are just some knee-jerk reactions I had on the Derby. I got a Summers tomorrow, 42-1 long shot to show. Putting them to betting them the show, just because I'm hopeful. I want to get out of these doldrums of this weather front. We got some really nice weather supposedly coming in next week, so I just thought that was appropriate. So Summers tomorrow at 42-1 to show. I got Epicenter to win. I don't have any idea why. I did a brief background. I looked. It's 5-1. Not bad. Anything goes. So I'm gonna go Epicenter to win the whole thing. So there's my call. It's out there now. It's out in the universe. I can't take it back. So there you have. So everybody, watch the Kentucky Derby. Enjoy. Have a great time today. That's going to be awesome. So last night, NBA. A few days ago, I told you that this pair of games, this series, they were over. I didn't see any out for, I didn't see how the 76ers would get back into it. That being said, didn't plan and want Embiid coming back this soon. Awesome. Good for him. And then the Dallas Suns series, I said the Suns were rolling. Dallas was out of this. They just didn't have the talent. Again, I'm wrong. Both these series are tied at 2-1. That was great. So the 76ers, they just kind of roll over the Heat. The Heat never got it going last night, with Embiid coming back. He does change the game. I mean, he makes everybody on the floor better. He makes the Heat work harder on defense. The spacing is different for the Sixers. I mean, it's not rocket scientist to figure out that the best player on their team makes their team better. He played pretty good. He didn't, that's tough with the face mask, and you got an orbital fracture. It would be understandable to be a little nervous, but he played really well. And it was cool. He went, 18 points, 11 rebounds, but his defense was there. And again, the spacing, he opened things up for everybody else. Probably the big surprise, not surprise story, but the big, story for Philly. You got Danny Green, who hit 7 3-pointers, the most he's ever hit in a game. If anybody remembers back to when he played for the Spurs and out of nowhere, torched the Heat for 2 years in a row. Basically, this was that Danny Green. So it's 7 3-pointers. He had 21 once, and then Tyrese Maxey, loved it. Another one of these as young guys that are just energizing the league right now. 21 years old. He has 21 points. He's 5 for 6 from three, but he made like, anytime the Heat like got it tense, like I told you my rule. If it's 10 points in 5 minutes or less, we're good. So anytime the Heat, kind of got it in that 10-point difference area, it just felt like Maxey made that shot or the wide open three. 5 for 6 from three for him. 21 points, great energy, fun to watch him. Even afterwards, I just love the youth in this league and the excitement and what they bring to it. It's just great. The future is really bright in the NBA. But so we have a series now. We actually have a series. The Heat had some scoring problems. Jimmy Butler has 33 points. The rest of the team has 46. Really, really tough night for the Heat. Really showed some. If you're asking me, I would say that neither of these teams can compete with Boston or Milwaukee in the next round, but I have no idea. Like, obviously, we don't know what's going on. Most importantly, we got at least one more game of this series. It's not going to be a sweep. So, the Heat, now the pressure's on the Heat. Like, the Heat can't let this get tied, and then Embiid's only going to get healthier. So, it's interesting. Not a great game to watch, but I appreciate it anyway. Then you got the Dallas and the Phoenix series. This was a weird one. Dallas wins 103-94. And it was a different Suns team. CP3 has 7 turnovers in the first half. I mean, that was the story of the first half. He just out of nowhere, like 2 weeks ago, he plays damn near a perfect game. And yesterday he's kind of sloppy with the ball, only has 12 points. Nobody on the Suns team reached 20 points. I mean, we're talking a very talented team, and nobody reached 20 points. Dallas really, brought the effort on defense too. And again, Luka was Luka. He does his thing, 26 points, 13 rebounds, just puts so much pressure on the Suns defense that, like, just the work they have to put in, which, like we talked about, helps you on the other end of the floor if you can make them expend the energy and the thought, make them concentrate. So Luka did his thing. Most importantly, though, Jalen Brunson showed up. That's what we're talking about here. I'm a little late on my graphics if you're watching. Brunson shows up, has more points than he had the first 2 games combined. He has 28 points last night. And then when he's gone, again, it's the pressure, it's the concentration, makes the Phoenix defense work so much more. And then and of course it helps Luka. This again, we get it. If 2 players are doing really well, it helps each other, much like Paul and Booker did a couple nights ago. But most importantly, again, they've extended the series. Dallas had to win the game, is a must win, quote unquote, and they won it. So that's all they can do. They had to win this game. I think this is going to be one of those that we're going to look at and say is a great series by Luka, but still not enough by Dallas. I don't see how, again, without injuries, forcing their way into it, I don't see how Dallas can still win the series, but we get another game. So it's not over until somebody wins 4 games. Overall cool. And a shout out to Brunson, in his post game press conference. He wears the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles t-shirt. Really cool. I don't know. I just thought it was cool. If anybody knows me, in my other shows and stuff, I'm also one of the, whatever the geek culture is or whatever you want to call it now. So I don't know. It was just a cool shirt. So shout out to Jalen for having a little fun with that. He, even though he's so young, he probably doesn't even remember the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon, which was one of the greatest in history. So there you have it. So and then the other series, kick back up today. They're a little earlier. So in case not aware, they're not night games. I believe the Boston game, Boston Milwaukee, is at 3:30, and then the other series, Golden State Memphis, is at around like maybe 6:30 or 8. It's not super late, so that's really cool on a Saturday. Get some awesome afternoon playoff basketball. So really excited. All the series are, um, heating up now. It's great. It's wonderful. NHL played last night again. Didn't watch it, but here's what we have. They played 4 games last night, so there was 4 series going last night. They're all 2-1 at the end of the day. So we're right on track for every NHL series being a game 7. Exciting, just again, exciting playoff hockey. People are loving it. It's great. Tampa Bay, here's what I know. Tampa Bay's down 2-1. I have no idea what it means in hockey. If your champ is down 2-1, it may mean nothing. It may mean something. But this is how it heats up. You get the inners going. Next thing you know, I'll be watching hockey by the end of next week. So good for the NHL. just a great product out there for their fans as usual. So, last but not least, I tried on this show kind of talk about what happened, what my timeline, what was the discussion on my timelines. Us that do this for quote unquote living, we we live our lives in the social and in the interaction and constantly. So, I kind of just like to give you a little, what was jumping off my timeline? What was the conversation yesterday? So WNBA started. It was which is awesome. WNBA started Friday night. It was great. There's already an overtime game and already controversy. Wonderful. I just it's one of these things, and this is what I'm getting at here. I love the NBA existing. I won't sit here and pretend I watch a lot of games, but if all of a sudden it didn't exist, I'd be very sad. So I just like it being in the universe. I love like every time I see any interaction with the WNBA players, I just really they're just awesome. They just really seem like they kind of get it. Um, and I'm just for the league being around. I know some I know a few like really big WNBA fans and they love it, and that's important. So that's kind of my point here. So a lot of a lot of a lot of my feed yesterday was the WNBA is back, and then my sports people kind of start it's 20 years, it ought to be better. I just don't love it and all that, and I get it. No, it's not a perfect league yet. Some people are put off by, these women like to speak up and they have a lot of things to say and a lot of I won't call them complaints, but like reasonable gripes about the league and all that. And they're outspoken. Some people don't like that. I personally think it's awesome. I think a couple years ago, the WNBA kind of led the charge on a lot of important subjects and really got the fires burning, got the conversations going. And personally, I just think they're awesome. But most importantly, it's he's always I always have to think about in sports. Not every like I okay again. I don't love hockey. That doesn't mean I think hockey should go away or it's a bad sport. Just because I don't enjoy it, and I get a lot of kickback. I'm an NBA fan. Not a lot. If somebody's not an NBA fan, when I tell them that, they're like, I don't get it. Like I don't watch. And I think it's what like I say, the NBA playoffs is some of the most fun sporting events that exist. But then there's a universe of people that don't even know what's going on and don't understand like why they play basketball. So my point is, you don't have to love the WNBA. It needs to exist, but out there somewhere there are either young people or just fanatics that love the WNBA. They probably love their team as much as you love any team that you love. So it can just exist. You don't have to watch it. You don't have to enjoy it. But it can still exist. It exists in the world, and it's important to a lot of people. A lot of people. So it doesn't make sports bad. Like you get a lot of it in America. You get a lot of like I can't stand soccer. I don't watch soccer. You know what? Don't. That's awesome. Don't watch it. You don't have to. You don't. But also don't be WNBA guy like you don't get it. Like it's so much better than the NBA. Don't do that either. Just let them. Everything can just exist at all the same time. We have 2,000 channels, 2,000 internet feeds out there to catch anything you want to watch separately. You're not forced to anything. Nothing. It's not like 30 years ago when, if a sporting event's on whatever one of your three channels, then you were stuck and that was on. And if you didn't like it, you might build some animosity. Everything can exist on the same planet right now. So it's just fine. It's just fine if you don't like it. It's fine if you love it. All these sports can exist together and just one big happy sports universe. So that's all I'm gonna say. So that's it for 365 today. Again, thanks for everybody watch, listen. Be sure to subscribe to all the Off the Ball Network available, podcast and YouTube and wherever you're watching or listening. We appreciate it, and you're great. Have a great Derby day, everybody. Not too many mint juleps, but you know, one or two can be delicious. So that's it. I'm Jeff from Jeff Needs Sports, and I'm out.